All right, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. If you're first time here, please hit that subscription button and also the notification bell. You'll know when there's a new video coming out. All my current subscribers, thanks for sticking with me. Last week I did a little different video other than police corruption. I did something about my personal cars, my Corvette, and a car I was purchasing that didn't quite go well. If you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. Okay, so today we got a story about one of the most corrupt cops, if not the most corrupt cop in Norway. So we're going outside the United States. They actually did a documentary on him. It's nowhere near as good as the 7/5 documentary. So if you do watch it, it's on Netflix. It's called Mr. Good Cop or Crook. Look it up. It's on Netflix. It's a 4-part miniseries. I think each episode's about an hour long. Again, nowhere near as good as the 7/5. 7/5 was done really well. Great director and producers. And of course, you know, all the characters that are in it. Anyway, so this is on Netflix, Mr. Good Cop or Crook, about Norway's most corrupt cop. This guy started back in 1983, was on the job for 30 years. He didn't start, apparently, becoming corrupt until 1993. He, you know, the beginning of his career, it's typical regular cop, doing what cops do, making their arrest, handling street patrol, things like that. He ended up in their narcotics division, which was called the URO unit. Once you got into that, narcotics, you're dealing with, I don't want to say more sophisticated criminal, but maybe a more dangerous criminal element. You know, you up the step ladder of criminal activity, from street level stuff to, you know, organized crime and narcotics trafficking. So what happens is and this guy's name is Eirik Jensen, and he becomes a commander. I mean, he's not just a regular patrol officer. He ends up going up the ladder once he goes into the Euro unit, their narcotics unit, and he's in there until 2013 when he ends up getting arrested. But early on in the career, when he first gets into the unit in 93 or so, 94, he hooks up with no narcotics trafficker. And his name is German Kaplan. And Jensen actually registers him as a confidential informant. He's not just a street contact that he has. He registers him as a confidential informant, and everything, I guess, starts out right. But, you know, as you go along, you form relationships with the people in the street, and they become more than just a professional relationship. Jensen tries to say at the end of his trial that it was strictly professional and he recorded and reported everything, but it turns out not to be the case. The code name for the confidential informant Kaplan is GT007. So he was actually pretty excited about that because it had 007 in it. So it goes on for 20 years. 2013, Kaplan ends up getting arrested, and he makes an offer to talk about his contacts in the drug trade. First he tries to get out of it, saying he's a confidential informant, and Jensen is running him as a registered confidential informant. The unit that does arrest him, which is from another police department, I believe, goes to the version of internal affairs where Jensen works. And they start looking into everything, investigating everything. Apparently they had some prior allegations that they might have been investigating. People that Jensen had arrested had made complaints against him, saying they were set up, something like we were doing with Diaz. Diaz would give us his competition and we would hit his competition. That's what some of these arrested complainants were saying about Jensen, that his confidential informant, Kaplan, was setting them up. So, and then Jensen would go and arrest them. But Jensen becomes accused of importing and trafficking tons, and it says in the documentary, tons of dope, particularly hash and meth, and millions in cash, in Norway's cash. It's not the American dollar. So Kaplan goes out and, he sits down with the internal affairs and the prosecutors, and he starts spilling out all this information. And the prosecutors arrest Jensen. He gets arrested in 2013. He doesn't go to trial until 2017. He's found guilty. Trial probably was in late 2017, because in 2018, I'm getting ahead of myself. So in 2017, he is found guilty of complicity in Norway. I guess that's like conspiracy in America, and corruption. He appeals it in 2018, gets a new trial, goes back to trial in 2019. The complicity charge, the jury acquits him of. He's found not guilty, and he's found only guilty of corruption, which is sort of contradictory. So I guess in Norway, there's not just one judge, but there's a panel of judges, and the panel of judges rejects the jury's decision and finds Jensen guilty also of the complicity charge. So now he's guilty of complicity and the corruption charge again. Obviously, Jensen and his lawyers aren't going for that. They appeal it again, his second appeal, 10 months later, 2020, and he's found guilty all over again. He's convicted, gets 21 years, which is the highest, they keep saying it's the highest sentence you could get in Norway is 21 years. So that's what he gets. He tries to appeal again. It goes to the Norway Supreme Court. It's completely denied. And this dude is doing 21 years. Excuse my throat and my voice. Have been sick. That is on Netflix now. It's like I said, Mr. Good Cop or Crook. Check it out. It's a 4-episode series, and again, nowhere, not even close to what the 7.5 was. But check it out. Give it a look. You might have to have the captions on, your closed captions, because it's the accents are a little rough. And they show a lot of text messages. Apparently, there was like thousands of text messages between Jensen and Kaplan. So that's another thing that helped convict him, besides just the testimony, because you can't just have testimony of one person against another. He said, she said type stuff. You got to have corroborating evidence. So the dude gets convicted, 21 years. He was on the job for 30. He was apparently clean for 10 years. And in 93, he started with the Euro unit, the narcotics unit, and he goes dirty and blows his career. He went all the way up the ladder to commander. And he was, not only blew his career, but he's in prison. So that's that. Check it out. It's on Netflix. Again, like this video, please, and hit the subscription and notifications. Put down some comments. What do you think about this, not just this video, but of the Netflix documentary and how it compares to the 7.5? All right, so we got one Q&A. Q&A came in from a new subscriber. He wanted to know what guns did I carry back in my time when I got on the job in 1981, and did I have a favorite weapon? So the guns we carried was, your service revolver was 4-inch Smith & Wesson 38 6-shot. And then most guys got an off-duty at that time, was a 2-inch Smith & Wesson 38, carried 5 shots. Sorry. Also, did I have a favorite gun? I didn't really have a favorite gun. Wasn't too much of a gun buff. I did end up buying a 9mm. If you guys remember from the documentary, myself and my partner were the first ones on the scene of a police officer who was shot in the head after a stash house was being robbed, and we carried him off to the hospital. The next day, my partner and I went out to a gun shop on Long Island. For people that live on Long Island in New York, the place was called Edelman's. It was a gun shop, and we were frightened. 38s are not gonna protect us in a situation like that. God forbid we came across that, and we both ended up buying 9mm. We bought the same 9mm, but mine was a flat black one, and of course my ex-partner had to get the flashy chrome one. Buy a brand new Corvette, get a flashy chrome 9mm. That was him. So I didn't really have a favorite, but that was a third weapon that I did own, and it was basically because I was scared at the time, and the 38 was not going to protect me. So the 9mm, was automatic, and it carried a larger capacity than 6 bullets in my service revolver. So that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, leave some comments, share it on your social media, and keep watching for the car video. It's going to be clipped in here at the end if you haven't seen it yet. Thanks so much for coming by. I appreciate you guys, and see you on the next video.